Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Another Premier League weekend has gone by, so I've got another review for you. I'll start like I usually do with West Ham's game against Burnley at home, which was a 4-2 win at the London Stadium. Which this marked a way better performance than what we have seen from West Ham in recent weeks, especially going forward. They were played really well going forward. There was energy, there was some speed in the attack, which was nice to see. There was some great passing, some good finishing as well. If anything, West Ham maybe even should have had more. I'll start with the first goal, which was, actually the first incident in the game was a really bad tackle on Obiang. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Tarkowski. Really went right through the back of him. Obiang was down injured for a long time. He carried on, which was good to see. But that easily could have been a sending off, but I don't think he was even booked. So that was, and I think there was a bit of a coming together between Arnautovic and Tarkowski after the tackle. So then a few minutes developed. He went off. He miscontrolled it. Arnautovic just sprung onto the attack, went through on goal. 1-on-1 with Joe Hart, slotted it past him. He kind of had a bit of a dig at Tarkowski. You could see him laughing at his face. But then that was 1-0 West Ham. At the time, it was well deserved. It was opening 10 minutes. West Ham had Brendan Brighter, and that was pretty much the story of the first half. West Ham were kind of had a lot of good build up. They were just kind of lacking that maybe final pass. There was a point Anderson was through on goal, and he did beat Joe Hart with a great shot, but then Ben Mee somehow headed it over the bar with a blinding bit of defending. And then as the half progressed, West Ham looking comfortable, going to go into half time at least 1-0 up. And then Burnley just at nowhere was a bit sort of poor defensively, a bit of lack of judgment. Went for Goodmanson, I think it was, who kind of started it and made it 1-1 for half time, which was really against the run of play and kind of put a bit of a sour taste in the mouths of the West Ham fans in the stadium. It was all kind of bit, here we go again, we've dominated, we're leading, and then we're just going to give away a silly goal. So obviously second half, again, West Ham start on the front foot, nice and bright. Got the other goal through Anderson, which was a great bit of build-up play between Anderson, Arnautovic and Grady D and Ghana, who had a great game. Played through Anderson, he was 1-on-1 again with Joe Hart, slotted it in the corner, 2-1 West Ham. And we thought, okay, now this is where we kind of settle. Let's control the game now. And then Burnley went and scored again from a corner this time. It was Chris Wood. He beat his defender. He was pretty much had a free header. Wasn't going to miss. Made it 2-2. Again, the groans started. And then West Ham, again, kept the pressure on. Kept going at Burnley. And then Anderson got his second goal of the game. When he... I think it was a bit more, wasn't as clear cut as through. He kind of, ball sort of fell to him after a little bit of a melee in the box. And I think it was Ben Mee that actually deflected it over Joe Hart. It looked like he was going to save it. But still, 3-2 West Ham. Again, then we all thought, all right, let's not concede again. And we almost did. It was Chris Wood again, who was free in the box. I don't know how he missed this one. A header hit the crossbar, and that was the warning sign, I think, for West Ham to really kind of shut up shop. Pellegrini made some few changes, brought Ogbonga on to kind of sort of a semi five at the back, which kind of shored it up a little bit, and then West Ham got a breakaway. Antonio fed into Hernandez, who made it 4-2. Game was safe. Overall, like I said, a great performance, especially going forward. A few niggly things obviously at the back. It was disappointing to see 2 goals. But Dean Garner, what a star that he's been since he's broken to the first team. Since the Carabao Cup game, he's really kind of coming to his own. Hopefully he continues that sort of development going forward, especially how we're going to be missing Yarmolenko for a long period of time. Declan Rice as well in midfield looks a player that's been playing for 15-20 years. He's so level-headed, he's got a great kind of football brain on him. He reads the game really well, so he's always there to pick up little interceptions where he can, or cover when someone from the back goes forward. He's going to be a great player. Hopefully he gets his contract deal sorted out so we get him tied down to a long-term deal. Anderson looked great. He's kind of showing little steps. He kind of took a few steps back the last few games, but in this game he really showed why he could be worth £40 million. Still needs to do a lot more. I don't think one game scoring 2 goals, that's it. He's now the player we thought he was going to be. He needs to be consistent. He needs to be doing this week in, week out. And Arnautovic again was outstanding. He's definitely the linchpin of the whole side. When he's not there, you can really see they lack that little bite, like they did against the cup game against Tottenham. So overall, great game for West Ham. Hopefully they can push on Huddersfield next week, who are not in the best of form. So they need to take advantage of that and hopefully go back-to-back wins going into the international break. So elsewhere in the league, Man United picked up a win away at Bournemouth, which was a very, very late winner for Marcus Rashford. It was a game that probably Man United in all fairness, probably maybe did deserve to get the win, although there was a bit of controversy with the equalising goal when Sanchez definitely did handball it at least twice in the build-up, so that really shouldn't have been given, so that was kind of unlucky from Bournemouth's part, but overall I think probably Man United did deserve the win. Chelsea picked up a win away at Crystal Palace 3-1. Again, a game I thought Crystal Palace did play well in, but Chelsea overall did deserve the win, especially when it went 2-1 up. The game was over then, and they kind of dominated and won 3-1. Man City picked up a very easy win at home to Southampton 6-1. They're really showing their dominant force. They're in their kind of really flow, stride of just decimating teams. So they're looking really good now. So they're still unbeaten, as well as Liverpool, who picked up a 1-0 win as well. Again, one of those three teams, one of them's got to lose at some point. So interesting to see when that's actually going to come along. Huddersfield picks up their very first win in the bottom, so that's still in the bottom three, but first win of the season, and so did Newcastle as well. They picked up a 1-0 win at home to Watford. So signs of life a little bit for those two. Newcastle had slowly started to improve, and then just got a few draws recently, so picked up that win that really needed to propel them. Their season really get going now. Obviously need major investment in January. Will Mark actually give it to them? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Fulham looked like they're really showing. I thought Fulham would be okay this season. I thought they would not be outstanding, but kind of sit in that sort of mid between sort of 15th and maybe 10th sort of region. But they're bottom of the league now, so they really need something to change. Hopefully they can get it sorted. I don't think it's time to maybe set the manager. I think he should stay, and they just need to kind of find their rhythm, find their groove a little bit. Maybe in the January, probably look to find another striker, because Mitrovic, although he can score in the Premier League, he's not the most consistent of all players. Obviously Leicester picked up a win away at Cardiff, which was obviously their first game after their chairman unfortunately passed away last weekend. It was a big emotional moment for them. Obviously start of the game, all the squad and everything and all the staff were in the centre circle during the minute times, not only for the poppy appeal but obviously for their chairman. And when Gray scored, he took his shirt off with the rest in peace Vichar on his shirt, and then the referee booked him. It was a no-win situation, I think, for the referee here, because letter of the law, you take your shirt off, you got to get booked. So if he doesn't do it, and then another player does it in the second week, then he's like, well, you didn't book Damari Gray. Why did you book whoever it would be? But then if he does book him like he did, obviously everyone comes down, well, why'd you do that? It's a big moment for them. It's such an emotional time, obviously, because it's for a very well-loved chairman that he's trying to pay tribute to. So it was a no-win situation. If it was me personally, I probably wouldn't have booked him, because I think, given the circumstances, I probably would have let this go. But he booked him. He followed the letter of the law. So again, it was a no-win situation. But after the game, I think all the Leicester fans and the Leicester players were on the pitch for like half hour after the final whistle, just applauding and kind of just being together as a unit, like they should. Obviously, I know the players are going to have to Thailand this week for the funeral, so very sad for them, but they picked up the win, so hopefully that will start to kind of do the rebuilding process to bring the good feelings back at Leicester. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.